They came from the stars, sworn to protect us, but their love for mankind became rebellion. Angels fell. Giants ruled. And the world drowned in blood. What if their story isn't ancient history but a warning for us today? The story begins when Earth was still young. Humanity was fragile, scattered, and learning to survive in a world of storms and shadows. Watching over them were the Watchers, celestial guardians chosen for wisdom, strength, and loyalty. Their duty was not to rule, but to guide. From the heights of heaven, they watched mankind grow, silent protectors of a species still taking its first steps. But something stirred in their hearts. Curiosity. Fascination. The laughter of children, the warmth of fire, the tears of loss, all these small, fragile things began to pull at them. What started as distant admiration grew into longing. And in that longing was danger. Among them was a leader named Semyaza. Bold and restless, he whispered of a choice that would change eternity. What if they stepped down from their thrones in heaven? What if they abandoned the silence and walked among the humans they loved? Fear rippled through the ranks. The price of such defiance was clear, rebellion against the Creator himself. But Semyaza's voice was persuasive, his conviction unshakable. He vowed he would not fall alone. One by one, 200 angels swore an oath. Together they would descend, bound by desire stronger than duty. That night, heaven lost its guardians. They fell like stars cloaked in fire, crashing into mountaintops and valleys. The earth trembled beneath their arrival. And with a single vow, the angels who once guarded the light stepped willingly into shadow. They had fallen. And with them came knowledge the world had never seen. The Watchers brought gifts too powerful for a young world. Azazel taught men to pull iron from stone, to forge blades sharp enough to carve kingdoms. Spears and swords turned survival into slaughter. Blood became a language understood by all. Kokabel lifted men's eyes to the heavens, teaching them to read the stars. The sky became a map, marking not only seasons and harvests but wars. Amaros whispered enchantments and curses. Words themselves became weapons. Magic bent reality into shadow. And with dyes, jewelry, and makeup, they gave beauty a sharper edge. Appearance became a weapon. Vanity took root. Envy followed. Civilization rose faster than ever before. Fields grew richer. Cities flourished. Humanity learned to command the earth, the skies, and each other. But with every step forward, morality slipped further away. The Watchers had unlocked humanity's potential, but also its corruption. Their teachings promised progress, but left mankind stained with greed, lust, and violence. The earth grew louder with war drums. Kings rose and fell in blood. The balance between heaven and earth trembled. Somewhere above, heaven watched in silence, for now. But the Watchers' greatest sin was not their teachings. It was their love. They took mortal wives. From these forbidden unions came children unlike anything the world had seen, giants of impossible strength and hunger. The Nephilim. They walked like kings, towering over forests and villages. At first, humans worshipped them, mistaking their power for divinity. But their greatness became a curse. Their appetites devoured the land. Crops vanished. Rivers ran dry. The world bent beneath their weight. Fear replaced awe. These giants ruled with cruelty, taking what they desired and crushing all who resisted. They inherited the pride of angels and the greed of men. Cities burned at their command. Their laughter echoed over fields of bones. The earth itself seemed to cry out under their violence. What was once a world of hope became a kingdom of terror. And as those cries reached heaven, judgment stirred. The Creator sent his mightiest warriors, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. Their arrival shook the heavens. Their mission was clear: bind the rebels, cleanse the earth, and restore balance. Azazel, who had armed men and corrupted nations, was dragged down. His hands and feet were chained. He was buried beneath jagged stones, swallowed by darkness forever. Semyaza, who led the Watchers into rebellion, was cast into the abyss. His followers were hurled into the same pit, their screams echoing in the depths of the earth. But their children, the Nephilim, were too many, too powerful. No army could stand against them. So heaven chose a different weapon. The skies split open. The seas roared. Rain fell like 1,000 spears. The great flood swallowed cities, towers, and thrones. Mountains vanished under the waves. Humanity was washed clean. When the waters receded, silence covered the earth. The watchers were gone. The giants were no more. Humanity had survived, but forever changed. Yet their mark remained, in ruins, in whispers, in the knowledge they had left behind. They had fallen, but their shadow never left us. But what of the watchers whose names we barely remember? Penemu was one of them. He gave humanity writing, a gift meant to preserve memory, history, and lore. But the same ink that recorded truth also spread lies. One false story carved in stone could twist kingdoms. Penemu became cursed to wander in silence, a scribe who could no longer speak. Serial watched the stars. He revealed the moon's path and the dance of constellations. Kings used his maps to plan wars. Priests used eclipses to control fear. Serial's brilliance was sealed away, hidden in shadow. Tamiel ruled over water. He taught rivers to serve mankind, carrying life to deserts and men across seas. But rivers became borders. Oceans became weapons. Sacred waters ran red in war. Legends say he lies bound beneath the oceans, hearing every cry above the waves. Then there was Gadriel, the Whisperer. Some claim he was the serpent's voice in Eden, the shadow behind the first temptation. He taught men to fortify cities and waged cunning wars. His influence spread like smoke, choking all it touched. His name was erased from holy tongues. They were chained and silenced. But their lessons still shape us. If history forgets them, does that mean they're truly gone? If the Nephilim were wiped away, why do their stories live on? Across oceans and centuries, myths whisper of beings too large, too powerful, too dangerous to be human. In Greece, they were the Titans, who challenged the gods and were cast into Tartarus. In the frozen north, they were the Jotun, locked in endless war with the gods of Asgard. In the Americas, they were towering hunters, shaping valleys with their steps. Different names, different lands, but the same memory. Could these tales be echoes of a forgotten age? Perhaps the earth itself remembers, its scars hidden beneath mountains, its bones buried under ancient soil. If angels walked among men, wouldn't their mark remain? Across the world stand monuments that should not exist. Structures so advanced, so precise, they defy the tools of their time. In Giza, limestone blocks weighing tons rise into perfect pyramids. Their sides align almost flawlessly with the stars above, as if heaven itself guided their builders. In Baalbek, a single stone, the stone of the pregnant woman, weighs over 1,000 tons. Even modern cranes would struggle to lift it, yet ancient hands placed it with impossible precision. Far older still is Göbekli Tepe. 11,000 years ago, long before history was written, hunter-gatherers carved towering pillars into sacred circles. How did a people with no metal or cities achieve this mastery? We call it genius. Determination. But these stones whisper of guidance, knowledge passed down by those who fell from heaven. Kokobel's lessons in the stars live on in Stonehenge and Nabta Playa, aligned perfectly with solstices and stars. The sky became a map. The earth became its mirror. Were these wonders built by human hands alone, or were they classrooms where angels once taught? The Book of Enoch says the watchers were bound deep beneath the earth until Judgment Day. But legends worldwide speak of vast realms below us, hidden kingdoms of light and shadow. Agartha, Shambhala. Cities said to glow beneath mountains. Rivers that flow in darkness. A world beneath our feet. What if these myths are memories? What if the watchers became the source of these stories, trapped for thousands of years in a silence deeper than stone? Perhaps the ground we walk on is not just rock, but a ceiling. Perhaps every quake is a reminder they are still there, waiting. What if the watchers left their mark somewhere we can't erase, inside us? Some believe their knowledge lives in our DNA, locked away like a secret code. Perhaps our leaps in technology, iron, flight, machines, space travel, are not random. Perhaps they are memories waking up. Every invention, every breakthrough, every spark of genius could be a key they planted long ago. Maybe humanity isn't simply evolving. Maybe we are remembering. If their story isn't over, we may not just read the next chapter. We may be the ones to write it. Once, the Watchers were guardians sent to protect a fragile world. But fascination became desire. Desire became rebellion. And rebellion rewrote mankind's destiny. Their gifts built empires but sharpened swords. They gave wisdom and temptation. Knowledge that could save or destroy. The Watchers fell. The Nephilim vanished. Their names were buried. Yet their shadow never left us. Perhaps their punishment was not an ending but a pause. Perhaps they are still watching. And maybe the real test has already begun. Because humanity now carries their power, their ambition, and their flaws. We stand where they once stood, facing the same choice. To rise, or to fall. The angels sent to protect us became our greatest threat. But now, the greatest threat may be us.